Good morning. This is Stephen Choate, Romans7.org. Our ongoing task here is to give, weekly or bi-weekly, our sermons. I encourage you to look at our webpage and give us encouragement about our mission at Romans7.org. Now our mission is start to work with Sophia and get these people, these human beings, out of Nigeria to Canada under these work visas. There's over 2 million Christians in Nigeria. They're being murdered by Arab-type terrorists because they praise Jesus. So just start staying with me on this because it has meaning. This broadcast is going to be about Isaiah 41-8, and that's from God's promise to Abraham that he'll be his friend forever. And why this is meaningful is our main goal in life is to have God to call us his friend over and above promotions or a new car or material, possessions. And that means we follow the 10 Commandments. Isaiah 41:8 is a quote from the Bible, because you have trusted me through this great trial, and that's his son, Isaac, upon the hill, that he's going to sacrifice to the love of God. I will trust you, and you will forever be my friend. In Genesis 22-17, because you have obeyed me, I trust you, and you're a man of God. So first of all, let's see who Abraham is, or Abram. He had a son called Isaac. He had a wife called Sarah, and Sarah had a handmaiden called Hagar, who she gave to her husband so he would have a son called Ishmael, who was the half-brother to Isaac, because they recognized that Abraham married Sarah, where Hagar was supposed to just be a handmaiden to have a child for Abraham, not recognized under the marriage laws. And Jews believe that Isaac is a forerunner to the Jewish race. And the Arabs believe that Ishmael is the forerunner to the prophet Muhammad that started the Arab race. And both religions, actually 3 religions, Christianity, we all believe that Abraham is the father of our race. In age 875, Abram left Haran with Sarah and nephew Lot by the order of God. And number 1 was to start the Jewish nation through Abraham. And the timeline of God's events, so we can put all this in perspective, the Watchers, the fallen angels, during Enoch's time, 200 of them, fallen angels, they roughly think maybe 16,000 BC. These runaway angels married women on earth, produced giants, and then these runaway angels taught earth people, humans, metals, armor, war, taught them farming, taught them how to read, how to write. And Enoch, the book of Enoch, they taught him, as being a scribe. And the same timeline that we see that Noah was ordered by God to start building the ark to restart mankind, because God ordered the flood to destroy the world of these runaway angels and giants and huge sin and blasphemy on earth. So God decided to destroy all life on the planet and then go ahead and start it all over through Noah and his family. Then 10,000 BC, 5,000 years later, then we get into Abraham's timeline, and God decides to start Jewish as his special people, and then start the nation of Israel as his new nation. Then 2000 BC, or 2000 later, from Abraham's time, and then Moses becomes God's chosen person, and leads Jews out of Egypt to the Promised Land. And then 1,000 years later, 900 BC to 180 after that, Jesus is born, the Son of God. And then we have new laws of love. And the truth is when you look at God and how he looks at the world, one day is 1,000 years, or 1,000 years is one day. So though we might be 5,000 years later to have Abraham's time, but God, that's 5 days. And Abraham enters the picture. He enters Israel. He was told to head there. And the kings capture his convoy, his family, his son, his nephew Lot. And we always remember that Lot, his wife, she turned into a pillar of salt. She's told not to look back by the order of God. But this convoy that was captured in Abraham by these 5 kings, Abraham, with 318 trained servant warriors, led a nighttime attack, divided his army into 2 different forces called the Battle of Sidon. Then on the way back, he greets the king of Salem, which is Jerusalem. And it's the priest or the king, Meshbatek. Then he comes out, and Abraham recognizes him as a man of God, as a priest of God, and then tries 10% of his goods that he has. So this is the priesthood of the man of Most High, recognized by God. And so we know that Abraham talked directly to God. We've seen that. We know that he saw the angel of the Lord stopping him from the sword to his son. So we know that whoever this priest of Meshbatek is, king of Salem, king of Jerusalem, Abraham recognized that he was a man of God. He spoke for God. And then his priesthood is ordered to Jesus. And then number B, when Sarah dies, Abraham buys the cave of the Patriarchs, in Hebron. He buys the cave for 400 shekels of silver. And this cave is famous throughout the history of mankind to this day. Over 3,500 years, it's one of the most sacred spots or cities in the Jewish history. Then we see that Sarah, when she dies, that the cave of Patriarch Hebron, it becomes the resting place of Adam and Eve, which is totally incredible. It's recognized by Adam to be the back door of the Garden of Eden. And number 2, it's the resting place of Abraham and Sarah, and also the resting place of Isaac and Rebekah. And a side note, Isaac's favorite wife, Rachel, she was buried on the road to Bethlehem, and it was recorded 1,000 years before Jesus was born that she cried out tears of children. And this has to do with the declaration from Herod to go in there and kill all the babies, if you will, 2 years and under, because he heard that there's a new king being born, and that was his decree. So there again, that's a testimony of the reality of Jesus coming. And number 4, the people buried there in the 4th couple is Jacob and Leah. And the facts is that Hebron, the cave, or Hebron, the city, was the first capital for David for 7.5 years. Then Herod, the governor of Israel, he built a religious temple around the cave. So Hebron is the oldest city in Jewish cities. The present-day Jews are trying to take back the area of Hebron. And we see Bethlehem too. And my thoughts are is that whole Palestinian destruction, the terrorist armies, Hamas, and the other one, it's Hezbollah, is to take back the sacred sites. because Abram, one of his first altars he built is to God was in Hebrew. So this is a very, very powerful area, and we've seen it. But what I'm getting at in this podcast is what has value. And number one, it's going to be God calling himself your friend, and that he'll be your friend forever because you believed and you obeyed and you trusted him throughout your great, trials. So as we see life, no matter how life goes, we have to look at that God is our friend, and that is the most important thing, that we remain faith into the level of Abram is our ultimate goal. I want to thank you very much for letting me give this podcast, and please start looking at my webpage each week and give me encouragement as we tackle this huge next trial, and that's by getting these Christians, out of Nigeria to Canada. And I appreciate you letting me give this, and we'll march on and go forth. And God bless. Thank you.